Yeah, welcome to the family function. I say that then. Man, today we're gonna be talking about some crazy topics, man. We're talking about like the best generation, man. You know what I mean? I think the millennials is at the top, but we're gonna see today. We're gonna talk about Gen Z and the new generation on the block, Gen Alpha. Let's do this, man.
I don't even know what generation that is.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know.
Is that kids like born like today? Like what is that?
You got Gen Z, then just like Gen X or something like, bro.
Well, I mean, go to a hospital, man. You know what I mean? That's Gen Alpha right there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we just want to talk about a lot of some of the best time, that throughout the generation, and I think that one of them will come on top. I don't know what's your guys' opinion, what's your guys' views on one of the best generation out there.
I mean, boomers are winning, right?
That's facts.
They have homes and crazy returns and everything
You
right
really
now.
peep it, right? Like a lot of people are like, I'm not gonna lie, I miss the old days. Like I like the old aesthetic
All the time.
It's always all of that, right?
All the time.
That's the funny thing too, because I've been like anytime I go on TikTok, right? You see a lot of like the nostalgia videos of like back in like when we were in school, and this is probably more related to me and Leighton, because me and Leighton are both millennials. Leighton, you're probably on like the beginning part. I'm closer to the end because I'm 95.
Yeah, because millennials are from what? 1981 to 1995, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely live in that era.
Yeah.
So then, wait, then and what, like Gen Z? Like, well, I'm Gen Z, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that's like
definitely
2000,
Gen Z.
right?
Yeah.
2000 and
Like so 96 and
So
on.
then what is?
90,
Gen Alpha?
96 and
What's
on.
the next gen?
I think Gen Alpha just started like the 2020s around that time.
2020s, and what's going into what, the 2030?
I think so.
Like that?
Okay,
yeah.
so wait, I'm trying to understand this whole thing. So, millennials is 19 something,
1981.
1981. Okay,
Yeah.
Then
95.
Gen Z, 2000,
From 96
96 to
to
2000.
2012, I think 2010.
Yeah, around there.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then like 2020 time is like Mega X. What's it called?
Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha.
I'm not
I know it's confusing. It's too much.
It's crazy.
It's not like a stringent like. It's like baby boomer, Gen X,
right.
millennial.
This is like a whole like
and it's like-
Pokemon
it's like-
generation. Bro.
Yeah,
like-
literally, yeah.
So if we're living in Gen Alpha right now, it's like what you know what I mean? I don't see no comparison to the millennial generation, because it's like it was
Was it
borderline
like,
everything.
Are you saying like you guys don't get that much like notice?
No, I'm saying like we don't get enough notice, but that was like the best generation if you really think about it.
It was like the
It was
awkward
start off-
stage, like the awkward stage generation, because like technology just started,
started.
like the internet and
Just
stuff
started.
like that. So like when like we're in school, like you have the very big box like PCs or iMac.
Right.
You gotta had dial internet. So basically, anytime you had to use the internet, if someone was on the phone,
Yeah.
they couldn't use the phone if someone's using the internet.
Facts.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, so
Oh man, them phones used to be crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wait.
Them big box phones. Bro, it was crazy. Phones was like this big.
Yeah, it was
So
like
wait,
huge phones.
If you're on the phone and he's trying to like go on like YouTube,
It'll like
that,
it'll give it like
you
this like
can't-
weird
static noise?
sound. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, let me see if I can see if I can pull it up.
Cause no, I remember though. Like I remember when I was growing up, like kind of like around that time, right? Not that time, but like when I was a baby. I remember like y'all remember when you guys had to go to like the Eastern Market to get like the paid carrot
Yeah,
for
yeah.
transition.
Yeah.
Now they don't. I'm not gonna lie. Like WhatsApp, Loki saying that. You don't have to do that now. You have WhatsApp to call.
Yeah.
I remember all the time when I was a kid, me was like, my mom was like, oh, I'll be right back. I just go to get like the little thing. And it wasn't even taxing.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the millennial generation was like the best because that was like you talk about technology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we talk about movie, show, you name it. It was back then. That was it, man. Like it was. Just
So wait, would y'all say you guys are like Y2K?
Yeah, I guess so. But here, listen here. I got the audio here. Listen to this.
Let's run some of this, man, because this is about to get crazy. Oh.
Yeah. This is what we had to deal with.
What you know about that?
Yeah.
What the-
Wait, this is what this from?
Yeah.
I heard this audio before. I didn't know see what it's from.
You hear this nonsense, and you're on the phone. So if Leighton's using the computer, he's on the internet, you would hear that on the phone
Facts.
when you picked it up. Because remember, we didn't have cell phones back then, right?
Yeah,
so a lot of it was just like you had to use a home phone. Like that's what you used to have a home phone number.
I know, like what, like y'all grew up with like the beepers. Y'all grew up with like the block phone, where like it was like a block, and like the
and the funny thing is, you know what I mean? Back then, not everybody had a phone. Not everybody had a phone, right? So if you had a phone, you're like the man. You know what I'm saying? You were it, you know, because not everybody had a phone around them times. You know?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Because like you ran into situations where, like when Gavin went to school, same with like Melita, they didn't have like cell phones. Like probably till like the end of high school for you guys.
Yeah.
Even for me, like middle school is when I finally got a phone. It was like the sliding phone and stuff like that. And you know nowadays you can do like, you know, unlimited call, unlimited text. We didn't have that.
Oh, yeah, you have to pay for like minutes.
Yeah,
like,
and then the thing we used to do in school is that if you wanted to call or text somebody, it used to be free after 6. So you'd tell your friends like, "Yo, I'll call you after 6." Like,
yo, you know how we used to pick up the girls?
What? How?
Yo, you have to bring a pen and a pen. There was no phone, man. Like you literally, like you trying to chop a thing and shorty it or something. Like you just pull up the paper, you know.
So you're telling me, you're like, you see a baddie over there, girl. You have to pull up the whole note.
Yeah, that was like before Messenger came out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wait,
so
but I thought you guys.
I'm talking about like.
Didn't you guys not have
Facebook?
No, not Facebook. You guys
MSN.
had MySpace, and then on top of that too,
what's
that one thing? It's built into the computer. The Microsoft
MSN.
Huh?
MSN.
Yeah,
the Microsoft like online thing.
Yeah.
You had
that was it.
I never MySpace. Like I think when MySpace kind of like started dying out, like my generation of like the millennial group kind of like didn't really get on that, but we were heavy on MSN.
Yeah, I know,
super heavy MSN.
I know that.
MSN was.
Because you said like heavy or like MySpace.
Yeah, there's a lot of like MSN.
I
the
think
Facebook came in.
I think like 2000. That's when it started to get popular, right?
Yeah,
because more and more phones was like
middle school era, like 2007, 2008, and then like we stopped using that because then Facebook came out. So everybody there's no Instagram at the time.
That was the game changer,
or
right
just
there.
Instagram like came like a few days later.
Yeah,
but you always you use Facebook to like message friends, everything, post that. That was like your own social media, right? So if you didn't have that, like you weren't really talking to anybody. Damn. But nowadays there's like so many social media applications, right? So, and that's funny because that's why a lot of people now say like Facebook is like for the older generation. Like, you know, like our parents would use Facebook, right? And then for like millennials, Instagram is that for us. That was like our heavy
But it's still crazy though, because like people in my generation, like they still use Facebook. Which is crazy, man. I'm like,
really?
Yeah.
For what?
I don't know. I swear to God, I literally have a few friends that use Facebook still. I'm like, I forgot I have a Facebook account.
If people in your generation, if your friends are using Facebook, they're serial killers. Why are you using at their age? Even me as a 29-year-old, I'm not even using Facebook.
I swear to God, literally, some of my friends and like some of my exes, they still have a Facebook account.
And are they posting on Facebook?
Yeah,
like they're putting posts.
Like I swear to God, like bro, sometimes like they'll literally still post status, or what do you call it? Like they'll just post like selfies on Facebook. I don't know why. I swear to God.
And not on Instagram.
They do Instagram, but they do on Facebook too. I'm like, I don't know why.
Yo, that's crazy.
Like I remember, I think the last time I used Facebook ever was like, you know, remember Facebook used to have games.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's the only
Yo,
time
remember Mom was like so heavy into Farmville. Remember?
Yeah.
Mom was obsessed.
I remember every single time.
I thought something was going on with you.
No,
I know. I'm like, yo, we're gonna lose our mom to Farmville.
It was like you know what I mean, a work shift for her.
Yeah, exactly.
It was bad.
Yo,
I'm like, yo,
I remember I remember all the time. Like I grew up playing Roblox. I used to be on like the family computer playing Roblox, and she's like, "Yo, get off the computer now! I want to play Farmville." And like the whole night she's playing Farmville.
Yeah,
and like
that was
until it
dangerous.
in my
It's
room,
like, yo, that stuff was addictive. Like how I don't.
It's the fact too. It's the fact too. They came out with.
What about this that is so addictive?
I'm like, yo, our next option for her is like to call like TLC to do like those like intervention shows. You know what I mean?
Yo, it was getting to that point. You know,
imagine she's on like My Strange Addiction. My Strange Addiction. I'm addicted to Farmville.
Yeah, no,
that's crazy, man.
Like no,
you like look at her like farm and everything. And it's like a utopia that she's basically built, and like the level she's got into Farmville.
I'm surprised she didn't like come to us though and be like, "Oh, I want to start a farm."
Yo, that's
like, I'm surprised she never did that.
That's like it's like what like Farmville like it's like one of those games you like play it and you're like, as easy as this is, you never want to do in real life.
Nah,
that's true.
It's like same thing like Call of Duty. Like you play Call of Duty, and after you finish like a match, and you're like, I ain't never joined no war.
Yeah. I mean, but like, it's true. I mean, that's true. But then, like, look when you play COD though, right? You're like, yo, I feel like I could look at do this though, right?
Yeah, you probably do it, but you don't want to be in that situation.
You want to do it, you're like,
yo, I'm not gonna try to get blown up by a drone. You know what I mean?
It's kind of funny you brought up Call of Duty because like back then it was like Metal Gear Solid, man. Like, it was like, yo, that was the game. You know what I mean? When a man said I run some Metal Gear, bro, like it was.
No, back then, back then, like gaming was like ahead of his time. When I mean ahead of his time, like
no facts.
I don't remember what Metal Gear it was. Remember that one Metal Gear where you had to fight? I forgot who you had to fight. I forget his name, but like he controls your controller. You have to change the input.
Oh yes.
Like that was so ahead of his time.
You know, Layton, you actually played that one. I remember that. I forgot which Metal Gear it was, but I remember like I think it was like March break or something, and this was when we had our PS2, and I remember just watching you play it, and it was so crazy to me because even that game too,
the first one, because
I remember this guy, I'm like watching this guy playing it, and it's like this guy had to like eat snakes and stuff, like the game was so, but that like blew my mind as a kid though watching him play that because I'm like, yo, this is crazy mechanics because like what we had like the N64. And then, like, the next house we had after that, like, we had the PS1 or whatever, but it wasn't really a huge deal. But the PS2 was really what it was. And I remember when I got the PS2 in, like, grade 4, and then Gavin bought Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, I remember it got to a point, like, this guy was playing it so much. I was just watching him. Because I'm, like, watching him play. I'm like, this is entertaining, right? And I remember, we didn't leave the room for, like, 3 days. Remember that?
A full shift, man.
Yeah, that's what Comic got mad at us. Our stepdad got so pissed.
No shower or anything.
Yeah, that's what he got pissed. He like took it away from us.
Yeah,
he's like,
I was running a full shift on that for sure, man.
The real question though is it because you guys didn't have like a memory card? Because remember when like if you don't have a memory card, you try
they had SD card.
Yeah, that memory card. Yeah.
Did you guys have a memory card?
We had a memory card.
Yeah, they call it SD. Those big. It was like a big.
I was about to say,
but you have to remember though, like
no, because I was about to say though, like I would understand though, like imagine like because I remember when O'Shea, my uncle, right? Remember when he had the PSP and he used to always have it on because remember he used to play what's that game called, Jack and Dexter?
Oh yeah,
he had to always see the on.
Memory card. Sorry, a little brother O'Shea. This guy did not have a memory card for his PSP, so this guy didn't lose his progress. Would always leave his PSP on. That poor thing would never get turned off. Just left on running. But you have to understand though, like. You're playing San Andreas for the first time, and that was like,
that game.
That was the first Grand Theft Auto I ever saw or even played. I don't know about you. I think that was pretty same for Layton too. But you have to understand, like, playing a game like that, that's so open world. I remember you could go into like restaurants, eat food. Your character will gain weight.
Oh yeah, and
you get fatter. You have to go to the gym, lose weight.
You know what I mean? Go to the gym, like you're talking about everything. Go to the beach.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and when the girls would pass by, they would say 1-2 words. You're like, yo, this is for real, bro.
Yeah,
flying the helicopter. That was like
cheat codes, all that stuff. Like it was.
So those days. I remember like you had to like the internet back then wasn't like that. Like
there was no online play.
Like that, right? So remember when? Because I remember like when GTA 4 came out. I remember I had to like put like the cheat codes on like a paper and keep it like the case.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah, man.
I remember. Late used to have like a notebook where you have like all the cheat codes written down. You would have to go to like website. What was it called? I think it was like cheatccc dot something.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
That was a website. That was a website everybody went to because you would look for cheat codes stuff like that for like the inputs and stuff.
Yo, I went there a lot for Mortal Kombat.
For
the
yes, yeah.
Oh man,
you got to go there for like any the brutalities because there wasn't YouTube at the time, right? Even at the point where YouTube started coming about, no one was making videos like that. You know what I mean? So it's like you had to go to those websites to like know like secret endings or finishers, like all that sort of stuff. But you know what's interesting though, like about the conversation about video games though?
Yeah.
Because they were so good back then, but it's because it was creative. Because graphically now, video games are like at the absolute peak. Like some of the stuff graphics wise. But I think now
super advanced
with a lot of like gaming companies and developers, because you've seen a lot of gaming companies take very big L's, release the game, doesn't get the reception it receives, they're losing money. So now they're in the state. Yeah. Well, even like Tony Hawk, but like, yeah, because
because back then Tony Hawk was a lot better, I find, than you know what I mean.
Well, here's the weird thing with him, right? Because like he put out 1, 2, 3, 4, Underground, Proving Grounds, American Wasteland. Yeah. All those were great and received highly well. It was actually when I found when he went to like he did the Xbox. I don't know if you remember this. The Xbox had like the peripherals, like the Kinect, and it had like the you can buy this.
You're talking about the
skateboard thing.
Skateboard thing, yeah.
And everybody hated that, right? And I think for them it wasn't received well, so they kind of like pulled back from it. But I think now you've gone to a point with a lot of these gaming companies now, their mode for success is just to be like, we are not going to take a risk on making a new IP. We're just going to remake everything. Yeah. It's the same thing in Hollywood. You see it everything now, where everything's just nostalgia, right? So you're seeing all the Tony Hawk games being remade. You saw the Crash Bandicoot games being remade.
Those games are big, man.
Yeah.
And like for now, there's no market. There's no one really.
Well, yeah.
That type of game.
Well, it's funny, right? Because then like you get to a point where it's like I'll see it, I'll like, oh, yo, Crash Bandicoot, I'm like remaking that. I'm like, cool. Yeah, that was tough, and so I'll buy it, right? And then, but I'll play for a little bit. But then, like,
it don't feel the same, like the nostalgia.
Yeah, and then
I feel that.
And then they're also banking on to hope to get like the newer generation on it.
Yeah.
But it's not really appeal for them because like you have a new generation that's playing games like Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox. So that appeal for them, that kind of game doesn't really work. Like I find a lot of times for me, like I'm playing a lot of like single player games like Ghost of Tsushima, God of War. But like you, Deontay, like I see like you're playing Roblox, you're playing Fortnite. Same with O'Shea, like you guys playing those kind of type of games. So like that's interesting.
The thing is too though, like just what you said, we're like, cause like, for example, right, like with you and Leighton, right, when you guys grew up with video games, there was no online. There was no online, right? So that's why there's no
there was, but I mean. Console was
like, so,
it was hard though.
It was so annoying.
IN and stuff like that.
Yeah.
IP, right? So it's hard.
Because I remember like even technically Xbox, the first Xbox had online,
but it's hard.
But you have to like go buy like an adapter and you have to get an Ethernet cable and plug into your router.
Yeah.
Even my 360, like at the time too, because I had the old 360 where it's like it didn't have the wireless card built into it to connect to Wi-Fi. Somehow I had to buy like a 50 feet like Ethernet cable to run from my room to our parents' room because that's where the router was.
Yeah.
And I remember started plugging it from there, and I was like, "This is so like garbage."
But I remember like Xbox, it was getting slapped by PSP, man. Like PSP,
like PlayStation.
PlayStation was just, man, like any games, it was all for PSP, right?
That's why even like
there was not a lot of option for Xbox.
Yes, but not really though, because then if you really think about it, like PS1 and 2, that was amazing, right? But then when the 360 came over, you can't lie. 360 was
that was the thing. Yeah, the 360 is the one era.
PS3.
The 360 is the one era.
You think it really gave?
It did. It did.
It was over.
I'm telling you right now, that was the heat of console wars. Because you have to understand though, right? Because like
it only popped for Halo, man.
No, Gears of War.
No, Halo,
God of War,
Halo, Gears of War.
It's the only game I know was really popping.
No. I'll disagree with you there.
Gears of War.
Come on, man.
Froza. What else did you have? There's more. Bro.
There was a lot more exclusive. Like they had a lot of exclusives, and you have to remember too, Sony fumbled the PS3 launch because when the PS3 came out, it was stupid expensive at the first launch of it.
Yeah.
So then people are like, okay, let me try the Xbox, and Xbox killed it. Don't get me wrong, Xbox had their issues too because they had the red ring of death. Like my Xbox got that. I had to mail it back. I had to mail it back to Microsoft. They sent me a new one. But like, I'm telling you, like, controller was better. Everything was so much better on the Xbox.
I just think PlayStation had better game options. You know,
not at that time.
The variety of games
now, yes,
more to me.
But the things too, the one thing I'll give to PS3 though was the Kinect. When the PS3 had like that little like Kinect thing.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna lie. That like the little one thing.
The 360 Kinect was tough, but like it was so wonky and buggy, bro.
The Kinect shit was stupid because
it
like,
was a good concept though. You can't lie.
No, it wasn't because they were like both Sony and Microsoft were like, yo, look at what Nintendo's doing with the Wii.
Yeah.
So they're like,
they trying to.
Yeah. So they're like, yo, let's copy that because that was his own thing, and that's the thing. That's what's interesting with Nintendo. Nintendo is always doing their own thing. And like, they always sell because someone will usually own like an Xbox or a Switch or a PS5 and a Switch. Like I own a Switch and a PS5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're always like that concept because they're so strict on their exclusives. You can't play Mario nowhere else but Nintendo.
Literally.
Yo, I don't like sometimes you know what they'll do? You'll be you're a YouTuber and you're playing a game of Mario on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Post that video, Nintendo will take it down.
What?
Yeah, you've never seen that? There's a lot of YouTubers complaining about that. Yeah.
I know what they'll do is like if you're playing it on like an emulator, you get sued for that. I know that.
But that's crazy though. But like playing an emulator isn't crazy. Like you're gonna sue for emulator, but like there's YouTubers that will play like they'll play through like Mario
before it comes out or like
no, it's out, but they'll just get it taken down.
That makes no sense. Why?
Because for them, I think the thing for them is like, if you're playing a game and someone's watching it, we don't want that. If you want to see what the game's like, go buy it.
Marketing for y'all.
It is, but they don't see it that way.
I mean, I'm gonna lie. Nintendo doesn't care for money nowadays.
Yeah, but those sue they sue a lot.
They do.
I
Especially
see
with Power World.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right? So then you have all these video game companies doing that, but now like the PlayStation is Sony's dominating Xbox.
No,
I've never seen a company just give up. Like the point of Xbox, you know what Xbox did, Layton? Xbox said all of our exclusives,
they're giving the
yeah,
games to
like our all exclusives, you can get them on PS5 now. Whoa.
Like
that's
they're
what
giving them Halo.
that's what I'm trying to show you guys. The peak, like you guys may not notice that, but Sony is from day one always been the top. Like we talk about a top dog.
No, I'll
for sure. Yeah,
Steam's always been a top dog in game options. You know what I'm saying? Just you guys say, well, you know what I mean, like you like the controllers, you know what I mean, and that a lot better. But still, you know, it's not like PlayStation.
No, honestly, I'll give Sony that because even like before like whole console, you can't like Sony's been making a lot of good like stuff. Like
no, I'm not disagreeing on that
projects, right?
But I'm not disagreeing on that. But the 360 era,
that was
they got there was a peak. You know what I mean? Where it really shoot off.
A lot of people say like. I think they did. I think they did outsell the PS3 in that era.
They did
outsell the PS3. So that's the only era they won the console war. But after they came out with the Xbox One, after that they lost it.
Fell off.
And they come with
longevity is everything, man.
But it's not even that though, because it's when you get too greedy. Because you know what they said at like the Xbox One announcement?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't trade in games anymore, so you can't use games. So if I buy a game and I play on my Xbox, it's only locked to my Xbox, so you can't go play it.
See?
What?
So they're doing all that nonsense, right? So everyone's like, why are we gonna buy this? And then on top of that too, they made it such a huge focus because remember that time too, like the PS3, you can watch Blu-rays on it and all that stuff too, and you can do all these like. So they're focusing more on like being like an entertainment thing, and I'm like. Everyone's like, "What are you doing? Just make games, bro! Like, don't try to come and make a DVD player. Like,
you can always do on the 360 too, which I
that's what, yeah.
Because I remember you could do like play music.
Yeah, but they're like, oh, you can use like the remote with it, and like you can watch.
That's where they got innovative. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Sony. Sony's like, okay, how can we bring more? You know what I'm saying, to this market?
But Xbox, Xbox did that. Xbox is the one that did that. But Sony just said
too late. I think that was a little bit too late.
But Sony understood the assignment. Sony's like, we're not trying to be entertainment. We're just trying to be a console. They just focus on being a good video game console.
Right.
And then some people who are buying Xbox are not like, I don't care about no DVD and Blu-ray. Make a good gaming console. That's what I care about.
Yeah.
For Sony, that stuff was just a cherry on top. Oh yeah, you can play Blu-rays on it.
Yeah.
But Xbox was like, oh look, we can play Blu-rays and like you can watch like TV shows on this. I don't care for that. That's what I'm paying Rogers for. I don't care. You know what I mean? So it's just like, just make a good gaming console. But they failing to do that.
And then PS4 crushed that, and then PS5 is just demolished. Like
it's demolished.
Like the PS5, like I remember the first time when I touched it, like I was like, whoa! Like the fact that like the adaptive triggers, it adapts to the game, where like it's hard to like pull it back. I was like, yo, what? Yeah. And then like the motion sense, I was like, yo,
the sound coming through.
That's what I was saying. Like, nah, like PlayStation just tops it.
So, like, but not only that too, they just had generational games that just everybody was excited every time it came out or it dropped.
That is true, because
NBA, you know what I'm saying?
That is true.
GTA, Grand Theft Auto, all these games, you know what I'm saying? When they dropped, everybody was like, "Yo, you know, it's only one console we're on at this time." You know what I mean? So they did a great job. You know what I mean? Over a period of time of just capturing. You know what I'm saying? Like loyal fans.
That's
you know
true.
What I'm saying?
And then especially too, what I like about PlayStation a lot too is the PS Plus, because you know how the PS Plus like you can play the PS1 games, PS2 games on your PS5.
Yeah.
Xbox, like now they're kind of like doing
Xbox did it first. PS5 Sony copied them, because that was the one thing saving grace for the Xbox One was the what's it called, Game Pass. The Game Pass, like it's like Netflix. You pay a monthly fee. It's like $12-15, whatever, and then you can play all these different games.
But
so it's like instead of me like going to buy like all these games for like more expensive, like all these dollars, it's like I can go and just play 50 games that I like. It's not everything, but it was a huge catalog, right?
But so it didn't have like old Xbox games though. So like,
some of them did
later, really?
Yeah, some of them.
I don't know. I just remember it had like just like 360.
Yeah, and even a lot of the consoles too, like all of them had like backwards compatibility. So I mean, like if you have like a PS4, PS3 game, like you'll pop it into your consoles and it'll still play it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was interesting in that way, but yeah, like that's the funny thing now. It's just a whole nostalgia thing, right? Where it's like now everybody's just nothing is new in a sense.
Nothing's new now.
Like Tony Hawk's making that new game, and it's just like he's remaking it. It's like cool and stuff, but like no one's coming out like let's do something new and innovative in a certain way.
I mean, it's hard.
But what do you think they need to do to like revamp it, like make it just so it's more attractive? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think they need to do? Like, do you think they just need to scrap the whole thing, come out just totally clean the slate?
Yes.
Come out with just totally, like what would be something that, you know what I mean, would put that game back? You know what I'm saying? Like put it back in style. Make it fun again.
A whole different thing. Like, don't get me wrong, like I'm gonna be honest, like some certain games deserve a remaster. Like I'm not gonna lie, like Metal Gear Rising deserves a remaster or something. That game was peak,
for sure.
Right? But then with some games now, honestly, just make a sequel or just make a whole different game. Like especially too, like with games now, like you can't lie, there's different engines. Like you have I think we're on like Unreal Engine 5 now. Graphics are amazing now, right? It's just one thing, it's just two simple things. Make the graphics amazing.
That's
great story.
Yeah.
All right, and just listen to your community.
Yeah,
listen to your community, the fan base.
That's the biggest thing.
I'll be honest.
I think
I'm gonna be honest. One number thing too, which I feel like Leighton could probably agree with me. 2K. Back then, 2K like 15, 14, the ones that we had on Xbox, they put like the company actually listened and put so much money into it. Like remember when like you picked your team and it'll do like a sick animation thing?
Yeah.
This 2K didn't even have that.
Well, remember NBA Live was a big competition to
that too.
2K.
Yeah.
But 2K, because they keep evolving, you know what I'm saying?
And it's the same game. It's just
it just destroyed.
Yeah,
NBA
let me
Live.
ask you. Cause listen, I never really played like sports game like that. One thing I would play is like FIFA Street, NBA Street.
Crazy.
That that stuff was crazy. So I didn't really play sports
And
game.
I did a full shift on FIFA.
Yeah, this guy would go nuts on.
Or
yo, I get so cheesy. I'll be so cheesy at late. Yo, because it's like one console we have.
No breaks.
I'm like, I know, bro, this guy's like 8 hours. I'm like, yo, can I play now? Like, please, yo, let me.
We're all relate that. I remember
it was crazy.
I never had a chance on the Xbox back then. Remember?
Yo, it was too much, and like we could only play on weekends too. So it was like, yo, I'm like, yo, you're cutting to my time.
Weekends, you can't book weekends with me, bro.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, this guy's going nuts.
I was doing full shifts on weekends.
I'm like, oh my god, I need someone else, man. That's why you gotta get a DS and stuff. But yo, like, explain the difference between 2K and NBA Live, because I don't see any. NBA Live is gone now. I don't make it anymore, right? So what's the difference between those two?
So the difference to me was like 2K, like the fact how you can the interface between the characters, you know what I mean, and what you can do within games, you know what I mean, like the moves and how you can dribble and get to the to the net and score, you know what I'm saying. Whereas in Live, it was more of about like highlight dunks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like it was like I'll do a dunk and it's almost like you freeze it in time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So it was like when that first came out, it was cool, but when you keep doing that, you know what I'm saying? Like people get used to that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in 2K, they move from what I'm saying, like just how the interface,
it's more like
how
realistic.
Keeps you in the action. Yeah.
And they just came up with something totally different where people have never experienced. So that's what kept me over with 2K. You know what I'm saying? It was just like the innovation, constant innovation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas in NBA Live, they weren't doing nothing new, man. It was like, bro, like same thing I did in the first game. Like, why are we doing the same thing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting tired of you guys, bro.
Let me ask you this question now, right? So I know you don't really play games now, right?
Yeah.
Especially like the whole 2K, but I know you probably stayed a bit tuned into it, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel with the way, like the path that 2K is going to now, like with the whole thing with Ronnie 2K and all that?
Yo, 2K is on another level. I can't even keep up, bro. They have a community. Like when you talk about that community was crazy. Bro. You know what I'm saying?
Especially on YouTube. Oh
yeah,
my god!
Yeah.
All
and
like
the fact that you know what I mean with Twitch and everything. Yo, that just the level is different, bro. Like you can't even come step to that game right now. That game is crazy.
Yo, but wait, have you guys ever seen? Because a lot of these guys play like those. They like they make their own character and team and everything.
Oh,
like,
the face scan?
Yeah, and like they pay for all like the cars or whatever.
On your my pad.
Yeah. Have you seen the video, Leighton, where like girlfriends or whatever, they'll like film a video?
Oh, and they'll delete their
their boyfriend's like 2K player. Have you ever seen that video?
Nah.
You gotta put him onto on the Pretty Boy Fatal one.
Which one?
Yo, that's
Pretty Boy
crazy.
Fredo one.
Okay, hold on.
That was funny. With him and Jasmine.
What was it called?
Pretty Boy Fredo. Just type in Pretty Boy Fredo.
How do you spell it?
Pretty Boy
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Fredo.
Pretty
And then look up
boy.
2K, like with him and Jasmine over. Cause that was like the biggest, like I'm
So,
not gonna
am I
lie.
right though? Like, what do you think is the big difference that you know what I'm saying? Put
I'll be honest.
2K over the.
I don't
over the
really
top?
play sport games like that. I used to a
Yeah.
bit, but I'm not gonna lie. From what I've been seeing from hearing from my friends, 2K kind of fell off, and the reason why I say it fell off
Ooh.
is it's the same thing. Like it's copy and paste. What they'll do is like they'll bring back some of the old maps and new maps and some mechanics.
Yeah.
And
Wait, sorry, is it this one, right?
Angry Girlfriend deletes, but yeah, I think it's this one.
Yeah, watch this.
Wait, pause real quick too. Pause real quick. And things too about it too, right? So, there's this thing called micro, right, which is pretty much like story mode, right?
Yeah.
And for your character to be better, you buy currency in the game called VC, right?
Right.
So then you put VC into your character to like upgrade badges, defense, whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
So then this guy Fredo, he spent like over like 1,000 on his character. So imagine you drop 1,000 something on your character to be good, and then you come on one day and your character's gone. Like I'm gonna crash out.
It is a crash out moment. I'm
I'ma
crashing
crash
out.
out.
Big crash.
I'm seeing red. I'm seeing red.
Yeah. So I think, she ended up like delete. I think she got mad at him and deleted his character. So yeah, look at him crashing out.
Y'all can enjoy what the hell's
Yo, why you so evil sometimes, bro?
I know, like
Bro, that's just evil, bro.
there it is. I was gonna call.
Yo, she has no clue. She has no clue, man.
Man, this guy's like, get out of my face. He's like, just get out of here.
I mean, what can he do?
Please now, I have been asking you to get off the game, spend time with your family. You didn't want to do that, so this is what happens. First is what you get. Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. I don't care. I don't care. You need to spend time with me and Ava, and that's it. Goodbye. I'm done. Have fun.
You're so fucking stupid.
This
You just waste money. You're so wasteful.
Such a wasteful.
You could argue that him paying for this is wasting money. You know what I mean?
You know that is. You're so stupid. You're so dumb. That's what you get. That's what you get. I don't give a fuck about no goddamn liking. Dumbass. You don't belong over here. That's what I told you. Don't touch my shit. Still got my 2K. I don't give a fuck. Fuck her.
Yes, guys.
Don't do it right now.
Bro, like, I feel bad too. Like it's the fact like Once you delete it, you can't get the character back.
Yo, that's crazy.
Bro's about to cry.
Wait, crazy, man.
This guy's
Crashing out
losing
hard,
it.
man.
What the fuck did you do? What did you do?
Hard work gone.
I fixed it. What the fuck did you do? You didn't even want to play. You didn't even want to play. I'm not playing.
He's literally going through all the different stages of grief.
Yo, crazy.
Damn. Bro turned to Red Hulk. Damn. Damn.
Yo, no, but that's real talk though, man. When you put in so much work,
That is true
when you
though.
put in so much work,
Yeah, there's some games I've like.
man.
I never spent money on games, but like you put in like the
Yeah.
effort and like to
Effort,
get that deleted.
Yo,
Yeah.
so I get it. You know what I mean? I get what he's going through, but I mean, my guy is crashing out hard, man.
Yeah.
He's crashing out hard, bro.
Yo.
Yo, put my boy in a straight jacket.
Yo.
my guy. My
Yo,
guy
she
is
needs to leave the
crashing out.
house. Like leave the house.
I'm fucking done. Seriously, I'm fucking done. I agree, man. You know how long that fucking took me. You don't fucking understand. You don't understand. You always take this shit for the dough. It's not funny. Stop touching my shit. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yo, she don't know she got replaced by that game long time ago, bro.
I know, like this guy's he's mentally checked out that family.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, the
I
fact.
think too, like, bro, he literally like, it's thing too, like, he literally grew his channel from like 2K.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
on top of that too is like,
Yeah,
mind you, his character, his overall is like 90. To get your overall to 90 on 2K, that takes a while.
And she just went to just like
Especially
undo
VC.
all of that.
Yeah, and things too. Once you delete it, you can't get it back.
Yo.
There's no way for you
Yeah,
to get it
yeah,
back.
yeah. That and so that's the crazy thing, right? Like that's what the guy's using to make his money. And then you're like let me delete that. That's nuts. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it from because she's like, yo, like spend time with us, right? But don't go delete
Not like
the guy's
that. Not like that.
the thing that he's used to make money to live in that house. That house is so nice.
It is.
Yeah, that's a nice spot still.
So this guy's crashing out like crazy. Oh my
Alvin
goodness.
does one character. It's three of his 90 overalls, different teams. Like, that's crazy.
No, I'm crashing out.
I'm crashing out too.
I'm crashing
like,
out
what?
too.
But how you think she, you know what I'm saying? Do you think he handled that right though? Like, you know,
I mean,
like do you think
it's a reasonable, it's a reasonable
Of course-
crash out.
I mean, like it's not handled right, but like it's easy to say and done. Like when you're not in the moment, you know what I mean?
No,
like
facts,
you're that
facts.
heated
Yeah.
at that moment, and you're like, yo, I just lost everything. Like you're not. You're kind of like,
It's a reasonable crash out.
yeah, it's pretty reasonable.
Like imagine you're playing Elden Ring. You're close to being in the game, and then you know what I'm saying? Your thing's gone. Yours gone. You think you're not gonna crash out?
I'm crashing out.
What?
I've crashed out for less. you know what I mean? Like I've gone out for less. So that
so like in her mind, like you think she was like trying to just like a prank thing? Like
It
she
was a
thought it
prank.
would go over well, like you know
It was
what
a
I mean?
prank thing, but the things too. Well, a lot of times when they do this, right? They think because I know like for certain games, right, where like if you delete a save file, you can get it back.
yeah,
But
yeah.
for certain games, like especially with 2K,
Yeah.
even when you press delete, it will literally say on the screen with big brackets, "Are you sure you want to delete it? 'Cause
Yeah.
once you delete,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't get it back." and she didn't. So she knows what the consequences were.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
It says in big brackets, "Are you sure you want to delete?"
Yeah.
She said, "Hell yeah." She said, "Hell yeah."
But I think they should come up with some where you can, you know what I'm saying, like, especially for people who go hard like that, you know what I mean? Like you can like go back and retrieve all that.
Yeah, do they have that now? I would
Especially
assume
put in
like
money, you know what I mean?
yeah.
They still don't.
That's kind of crazy.
They still don't, especially
You
with
know what I'm
2K.
saying? Yeah, you because I think that would make a big difference.
In some games they do, but like 2K,
because you putting money on that, man. Like, yo, that my man.
But-
And you think about it too, like any other game, like no one's really cashing out like that.
Yeah.
But like you know for a fact, like it's a sports game, you know the people that kind of play that. You know what I mean? So like they lose their stuff, they're crashing out.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I low-key got mad one time when I opened Need for Speed Unbound and my save file got corrupted. 100. No, I swear to God, 100%. I got every single card. I got the A-Star Rocky card, all that, and I opened it one time. It said corrupted. I got so mad. I had to call EA to fix it, and they fixed it for me. I got so mad.
So you're better than me because like yo, I didn't even have to call EA. Like to even like you talk to a person or like what?
Yeah, I called them because like I literally called them. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, hello. I'm like, I have an issue in my Need for Speed. I opened the game and it says it's corrupted. I played the game yesterday. Everything was perfectly fine. I updated the game. I reinstalled it. I repaired it. It's still saying corrupted. I need you to fix my game right now because I did not put this much time into the game. They're like, oh, a lot of people are having this issue too. So I'm like, okay, a lot of people are having this issue. Get to it. Get
that's
to it.
crazy.
It's like, what are you
How old
doing,
were you?
man?
What's that?
Yes, they said that. I was mad because the thing too, like, I'm not gonna lie, I like Need for Speed. Like, remember we used to play Need for Speed a lot.
Yeah.
I love Need for Speed, right? And things too, like I love to play with my friends.
Yeah.
And like, mind you, I have like a lot of good cars upgraded, which it takes a lot to get your cars upgraded in that game.
Yeah.
So imagine getting corrupted.
Yo, goddamn, what happened to Need for Speed, bro? Like,
It's still good. Like,
but it's not like
it's
the
not
same,
no
you
not.
know? Like, it doesn't
I'm
bring
be
that same
honest,
energy,
like
you
the
know?
best Need for
It's
Speed.
not like you wait up, you know, waiting for it to drop. You know
Nah,
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yo,
Because the
back
thing
then
is-
though, Need for
no,
Speed
because
was,
the thing is though, with back to like this generation conversation, right?
yeah,
With this generation, a lot of kids nowadays they want the games to feel realistic. Cause think about it, back then our games were arcadey, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
For
Fact.
example,
Yeah,
like
fact.
Need for Speed was like felt arcadey.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk felt
Yeah,
arcadey.
arcadey.
SSX,
Yeah.
SSX felt
Sports,
arcadey.
yeah.
Bro, even
FIFA,
NBA,
yeah,
like you
all
had NBA Street, NBA Jam.
Yo,
All that. Those
yeah.
are so arcade. That Jam.
Yeah.
Arcade, right? But then now when you look at games now, you have Forza Horizon, UFC, 2K.
Yeah.
It's all like realistic
Yo,
now.
I really think like, you know, Grand Theft Auto really. That's what I'm saying. Like,
No, GTA says
it took
buddy,
it to
no.
another level though.
No.
Like where you can actually feel like you're actually in the game.
It's
You know
still
what I'm
it's
saying?
still is because I'm not gonna lie. Once GTA
It
6
raised the level,
when
man.
GTA 6 comes out, that's skyrocketing because especially
yeah.
especially
Yeah.
too with RP
Yo,
and
my
then
God.
and then especially too when now AI, right? AI is really big now, right?
Yeah.
What Roster Lee said, they're going to be trying to put AI into the game, so then
my
you can
gosh.
literally talk to the NPCs.
Oh my
Like you can have an
God.
actual conversation with the NPCs. So
Yo,
imagine.
but I heard like they're actually creating like an interface where you can actually make real money in the game.
Really, I didn't hear that.
That's what I'm hearing.
didn't hear
Like
that.
they're
That's
they're working
crazy.
on that. You know what I mean? I think that's part of the reason why there's so much.
If they do,
delay,
that's
because,
dangerous.
yo,
You mean
that's what
employees
they're
are?
saying. They're gonna like the actual stores. You know
Unless
what
we're
I'm
gonna quit just to do that.
You know what? Yeah, like you know what employees. You know the employees are like because they're waiting for like the actual like release date, and they're like they know like for a fact like they're gonna get a lot of vacation requests. They're gonna get a lot of
Yep.
people like calling in sick that day.
Oh yeah, man.
That game, you even hear the rumors too. Like the game is they're estimating they might charge like what like
100 something.
100
yeah.
is like $50 for the game.
Which is
And the fact that the community like Twitch is gonna be like the forefront for, you know what I'm saying?
No, for
Grand Theft
sure.
Auto, right?
Oh yeah,
Because
people playing it.
people,
Yeah,
people are already like on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? They have a big community, and part of their community.
Just gonna watch them play.
Yeah, you know, people they
Yeah.
demand they watch games.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They watch games and
Yes.
they interact with you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
imagine now when they drop that.
it's gonna be
Oh,
wild. Because
God.
things too, like I'll be honest, if RP wasn't a thing right now, I think GT5 is dead.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
lie,
yeah.
like the fact that GT has been out since like 2013 from like
Yeah.
Xbox 360 to now,
It's
and they're
insane.
still upgrading and making content.
Because I remember the day it came out, I was working a shift at Target. And I remember, like, as soon as I was done my shift, I want to go line up at EB Games.
Really?
Yeah, and that lineup was super crazy. I remember even, there's this old man, I'll never forget this. There's this old man, I was waiting in line, he's like asking, he's like, what's this lineup for? We're like, oh, for Grand Theft Auto 5. And he just joined the lineup. Why? like,
That's like, I also just got for my son then.
you know the even funny thing about that now too, like, even like kind of go a little off topic, but that's one thing I miss too. Remember, like, back in the day, like, video games were released and people were camping outside.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You know
like,
what I'm saying?
The thing
yeah.
is too, no, this is like literally like, I agree with that because literally like gaming now, like it don't hit the same. It doesn't feel nostalgia because like
Yeah.
I remember back then, like you love to buy the physical copies because
Yeah.
like the art cover, and
Yeah.
on top of that too, when you open it, it had like the manual of the games.
Yeah.
Nowadays they don't even have that no more.
No.
And then on top of that too,
Oh
when,
yeah,
like,
because they removed the manuals.
yeah,
they
and
don't
on
serve
top of that
manuals
too, when
anymore.
you pre-order the games, bro, you used to have like some sick stuff that comes with the pre-orders.
Yeah.
Now it's like, bro, you just got like a nice like cool like 3 costs for the game and then a little action figure. I
Yeah.
don't want no damn action figure.
But it's all experience though, right? Like, you see those videos of like people like in like Best Buys, like EB Games, and like, you know, that whole big like grand opening event, people are coming in and stuff. That was like, yeah, like you don't see that anymore, man.
You don't.
Yeah.
But
And
like,
I feel like it kind of died too. I feel like that whole hype for that kind of died when like E3 kind of died.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
now, like,
That was
the
another
game,
thing.
It's not really hype because like the only hype for it now is like, the Game Awards. That's the really only hype for it.
Yeah, but it's not the same anymore.
It's not the same. It's not
Because yeah, that was a big thing. Like you know, like Comic Con, like in San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah.
You have all the big actors come out and like they announce new stuff. You have the panels. That was that for video games, right?
And you could
So you'd
go
wait-
and test the game too.
Yeah,
Like,
so you go test the games. But that's where you always knew if you went there, that's where you're always gonna see like the announcements for new games, the trailers for new games.
Yeah.
And then I remember, yeah, they're like what a few years ago they
Yeah,
not
you
do it
just
anymore.
stopped. Yeah, they stopped it. And I don't know. I can't remember. I remember when I used to grow up. I used to always want to go to E3, and like now it's like I can't.
Could it,
Same.
like I said, could it be to the factor that people, you know what I'm saying, just they're more gravitated towards, you know what I'm saying, like Twitch, things like that.
Yeah.
Their own, you know what I'm saying? So it's
But
That's a
the
good.
thing-
That's a good point though,
you know
right?
what I mean?
Because then
I
like
think those things like, you know, help because now you can go and start your own channel. You're not gonna get excited about it. 'cause you have
Yeah.
your
But the thing
community where
is
you-
true though, right? When E3 was even still a thing, right? You have people streaming it, and
That's what I'm
also
saying.
on
Right.
on YouTube. Because like, I remember what Dashy. He went to E3 and he recorded the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, like younger generation, right? They don't live for like the experience, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't care to be there to experience it. They're just like, I'm gonna watch my favorite streamer, you know,
Play it or do it.
play it or watch it with them and that sort of thing. And like a part of it has to do with obviously accessibility. Like if you're a younger kid, you don't have money, you can't go. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's just like there's like this weird gap now where no one wants to like go to those things, right? So even like now too, like back in our generation too, like everybody would come and play outside and whatever and go to the park.
Yeah, there's understanding.
You don't see that, man.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's
And in a way
crazy.
too, I'm not gonna lie, I miss that. Cause like, if you really think about it, like, I miss when media wasn't the sky, like the skies to like take over like childhood. Cause like, remember like back then when we were kids, like we were all outside. We used to always just do like our own
Yeah.
thing, make some like random games, right?
Yeah.
Or just like literally like.
Girls just play a hopscotch.
Yeah,
you
or
know
like
what I'm
literally
saying?
like just
Yeah.
hop on the bikes and just ride to
Right,
some next
crazy.
random town. You don't even
Yeah.
know.
Right, like
I miss
crazy.
doing that. And like now it's like, if you look outside, like, there's only like 3 kids outside. And
Like
everyone's just
every you
inside
know what I mean?
playing
Like
games.
yo, I remember like it was crazy because like you go through like the neighborhoods and hockey was a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, outside, you know what I'm saying?
Or even like
People-
basketball too.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Roller skating like was
Yeah.
a thing. Like now it's
Well,
like,
it's
bro,
fun. Yeah.
you see people do that on the beaches, bro.
Yeah, you don't see it anymore. Even like our house, right? Remember like back in the day where like there was a street behind our house and they used to block off that street. And everyone would have like a neighborhood like block party.
Yo, black party
Remember
was
that?
crazy.
So like yeah, they
Yeah,
block
yeah.
off like Sun Forest.
Yeah.
And then everybody like they used to block off like the entirety
like
of like Sun Forest.
every year.
Yeah.
It was like Canada Day or something like that.
No, it wasn't even Canada Day. That was the funny thing. It was just like random. They'll do like 1 week, like 1 weekend in the summer.
Yeah.
And
I
then
know
they-
they did it every year.
Yeah, every year, and you
every
just go
year,
back there.
yeah.
Everyone's out. Some people are
I remember
barbecuing.
that,
So no one's like charging anything either. Like you just go.
Yo,
Everyone's
it's
just a good
free,
time. Yeah,
free
everything.
food, like
Yeah.
everything. You know.
I
what
thought
I'm
it was a baby. Like I don't remember that.
No, you're young. It was
Yeah.
because after a while they stopped doing
saying? It
it.
just got figured out. You know.
Yeah.
What I'm saying?
I feel like probably last time was like 15 years ago or something like that. It was a while. But like
like-
stuff like that.
But like house party too was big.
That too.
Yo,
Yeah.
house party was big, man. You know what I'm saying? Like people talk about, people living in basement. Yo, back then the basement was the party.
Yeah.
Bro. Like yo, you go every Friday night. Remember the weekends?
Yeah.
Every Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Going into
Someone's
Saturday.
house party, yeah.
Yeah, and then after you just get ready for, you know what I'm saying, the whole weekday again. It was crazy, bro.
But I get it. But a part of me though, at the same time though, I get why people don't do house parties anymore. That stuff is so
Right.
annoying.
Same thing with Black Party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People just start getting crazy. You know?
Yeah, like
It
imagine
wasn't
invite somebody to
becoming
your
fun.
house.
It was becoming like
Yeah.
a graveyard.
Yeah, like you invite
You go there to bury.
yeah after freaking like after someone comes to your party.
You go there, you drinking like.
Yeah,
You like watching, bro. You like, yo, who's gonna pop out first? You know what I'm saying? Like, you getting ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, but even if it's like it's your
people wearing sneakers now.
yeah,
You know, people
but
wear
it's
running
your
shoes.
yo, but it's even your own place though, and like people go destroy shit. Those holes in the wall random, like yo, like why are you guys doing this? So I was like, I'm not hosting this anymore. Some people just say they're gonna go to clubs and all that stuff like that. But even younger kids too. If you see younger kids like younger kids, you see them all now. They just go to like the mall and everything, and hang out.
Yo, I think before like the whole pandemic thing happened,
Yeah,
I think that's what killed. I think that's what killed the entertainment industry a bit. You know what I mean?
what do you mean?
Like going to clubs and stuff like that. Like it was popping. That was the thing.
Yeah,
Before, you know what I mean, the whole, thing happened, and then after that, you notice like no, everybody don't really like go to clubs no more. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's like a weird thing too, where it's like sometimes like
It's like the time jumped. You know what I mean? It's like we jumped to a different time. You know?
yeah, but you know what it is though, because it's like it's interesting because anytime I'm downtown Toronto,
Yeah.
it like especially like Queen Street and all that area, like packed, like craziness, like all people going to clubs. But I feel like you get to a point in your life where just you don't want to do that stuff anymore. Because I know friends too where just like they're like, I don't really care to do that, man.
And
Like
that goes into the millennials. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the Gen Z, and then now you have the new gen. You know what I'm saying? It's not about entertainment no more.
Yeah.
It's, a lot of it has to do with social media.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotta
a lot of it
say,
has to do with like you doing online stuff. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, I gotta say, cause
That's
like,
where the energy's at. Right?
like you're saying, like your friends don't like to go to clubs, right? Like I have of my friends, they love the club, and I'm like, I'm not like that. You know?
well, yeah. The preface is I'm like I never been to one before, and I'm never really cared to, right?
I'm saying like it looks like I don't know, like to this day I always trying to figure out like what's the hype, cause like I have like some friends that are girls, right, and they always invite me to like, oh, like there's a party coming down here or there's a club, like let's go. I'm like, I don't get the point. Like you go there, you dance for a bit, few drinks, blah blah, and then majority of the time you're just sitting down there. You're just sitting.
Yeah.
I feel like
Like, I don't
everybody that go to a
understand the
club,
hype.
everybody that goes to a club, man, they get pimped. You know what I mean? Because you gotta go to go into the club. You gotta pay. You know the entrance fee.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
When they're in the club,
yeah.
you're buying
That's
drinks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, by the time you leave the club,
You're broke.
You're broke.
You're broke.
yo, you getting
And then like for
pimped.
what?
You know what I mean? The
You're
only
broke.
person, you know what I'm saying, that's making money from the club
Is the people hosting it?
is the you know what I mean, the bartender, you know what I'm saying,
Exactly.
the club owners, all those people are making, you know what I'm saying, on the booze. All those people are making money. You're the only person that's going in with money and
And-
coming out empty. You know
Exactly.
what
And
I'm saying?
especially imagine too if you didn't have a fun
It's like
experience.
a crazy cycle.
Yeah.
bro.
Imagine you don't have a fun experience. You're just like, bro, you're just going home, but just bored. So
like-
you're broke.
yeah.
Like,
And then you go to work again. You know what I'm saying? You work just because you know you're gonna do the same
Same
thing
thing
over
again.
again. And what do you call that? A cycle, bro.
Bro, that's what that's why
a cycle of life, bro.
that's why I see some people I've seen people even my own workplace where it's like I went to club last night and I'm like, you showed up today, and they don't look good. Like they look like so disheveled and like they've been through it. I'm like, yo, like this is not even worth it. Like everything I hear about the club, I'm like, this is everything I hate. I'm in a small space, surrounded by people. It's hot, sweaty,
all exactly.
and it's just like and bumping into you. I'm like, I'm not trying to even go there.
And then now, like, you know what I'm saying? Before, like, you know what I'm saying? In the, like, during, like, the 2000, you know what I'm saying? Before, like, the 2020.
Yeah.
Like, people will actually, like, love go to club and have fun and party. Now you go to a club, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Girls are going to just, like, take the man's money, drink, have fun, and then after that, just go, bro. Like,
Cut.
you know what I'm saying? It becomes so, like, crazy.
And it's scary too, like hearing the stuff that happens. Like that's why, like I
And
don't
then you gotta
care
deal
to
with
go
that,
to the
yeah.
club.
Yeah.
It's like when like for example, like when dad or mom talk about clubbing back then, you know, like they're like, oh, it's fun. Like we used to club till like day and night, music bumping, all that. Yeah, it was fun. And it's like, damn, like that seems cool. But then now when you think of it, like in this generation now is like clubbing now is like it's scary because, like, bro, you got some stuff happening with females and drinks and this, and then you gotta watch your left and right because you don't know if someone's gonna come with someone. Yeah, it's scary.
Female, you know, you gotta.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's scary now, and then on top of that too is like music. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like music that playing the clubs.
That's what I want to get into. The music, man.
It's not hidden.
You know what I'm saying?
I wonder,
like, what would you guys think? Like, you know, millennial, you know, era and up to the Gen Z. Like, what like you think was the music? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, which artists you think was like popping back then? Because I think like up to 95, I think it was like, you know, we'll talk about hip hop, Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah.
And I think like in the 2000, you know, the Jay-Z and all those guys.
Jay-Z 50.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Those
DMX,
guys took and ran with it. DMX. You know what I'm saying? And then now you go to 2020, you know what I'm saying? You got like the Kendrick and the, you know what I'm saying? And the Drake.
Even like 2010, it's like Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, even like Wale grew up in that era. I mean, like no one really messed with Big Sean, like all those guys, right? And then like now, you go to like 2020 era, you know, X was like mid 2010s. You have Juice WRLD, you know, rest in peace. And you have Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty. So you have all these guys, right? So it's like a kind of interesting, like every decade there's like a new sound.
So those names, Lil Yachty and those guys, you know what I'm saying? Do you think they would last? Because, you know, like, you didn't have Spotify, you know what I mean? Like, it was different. You had to sell albums, you know what I'm saying? You had to go and promote your own music, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't like you just put it on, you know what I'm saying, Spotify, and then people just
Internet,
buy it, you know what I'm saying? You didn't have the internet. So do you think, like, these artists today can survive? Do you think they would still been, like, the top 10?
Back then?
Not top 10, but they'll survive because even...
96?
Not top 10, but they'll still survive because even too, like, for example, Lil Uzi Vert, before even Spotify and stuff was happening, he's been rapping since he was a kid.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I guess, like,
but it was so competitive, though.
It's highly competitive.
Get noticed like that, you know what I'm saying?
Well, like, yeah, because the issue then they face, right, is like their sound wouldn't be liked back then, and they're a byproduct of the internet because you know they're
a good point.
Yeah, because they're discovered on SoundCloud, right?
Yeah.
So I think back then, like, you look at like J. Cole and all those other guys, like, you had to have a bit of a salesmanship to you at least because you're going to like record labels and like trying to like give them your mixtape and like trying to like send your stuff over.
And
like,
Kanye, you know, he like his documentary.
Outline
it exactly.
Yes, exactly.
What you have to go through. You know what I'm saying?
It was like he had to like have connection with Jay-Z for a
right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And look what happened when he went there for the interview. He got denied. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy, you had to put your work in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I don't think like it's tough. Like you can't.
And you had to have talent, bro.
Yeah.
Like, really, you had to be talented, you know what I'm saying?
But that's an interesting thing, too, though, right? It's like, as much as, like, and I feel the people, like, my generation despise, like, or don't even like that kind of, like, music, like Lil Yachty and stuff, they are oddly talented, though. Like, actual, like, musical, because I saw a video once of, like, X singing. Yeah. He can actually, you can really sing well. Right. So it's, like, interesting, but it's, like, I think it's just, like, how they use their creativity in music wasn't relatable to a lot of people, not for myself at least. Yeah. Actually, I didn't mind to too much. Juice WRLD, same thing too. More so on the mainstream side, but I think like the Lil Yachty, the Lil Uzi Vert.
It didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it just wasn't appealing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it was his vibes or it's just his lyrics definitely was like, you know what I'm saying? It was like for the newer generation because when you listen to like, you know, like DMX, you know what I'm saying? And then when you listen to like Jay-Z, you know, all these real guys that came, you know what I'm saying, out of New York, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you went to Atlanta with the Ludacris, you know what I'm saying? The German Dupree, you know what I'm saying? All these artists coming out of Atlanta. Then LA, the Snoop Dogg, bro. Even, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you went from that to just, it's kind of like, yo, bro. You get your dinner plate taken, bro. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like this new generation, I feel you. It's new music, you know what I'm saying?
But I think like what like our generation and like the younger generation like want out of the music is different, right? Yeah. Because I think like if I'm listening to music, I'm looking for the real relatability, lyricism. Yeah. I don't know, like not every artist from our generation is like that. Right. But like that's what I'm looking for, and I think for like the younger generation. It's more about the energy and the sound of it, right? Yeah. Because I'm sure you like, and you can speak on this, but I'm sure like part of it too is like you're listening to that and like you want to feel hype, right? Like someone's not going to like, oh, I want to feel hyped today. I'm not going to go listen to J. Cole because they're not going to give me that kind of energy.
They do have hype songs though.
Who?
J. Cole though.
No, I'm saying they do, right? But I think like a certain like energy and vibe. Like you look at Travis Scott, for example. Like you see one of his concerts, and you're not gonna get that same level of like excitement and craziness as you're gonna get from Kendrick. Don't worry, Kendrick fans are gonna go crazy, but like Travis fans, every time I see him at Rolling Loud, it is nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts how crazy that crowd is going.
It's like the same thing if you ask, you know what I'm saying? You ask all the females, like, who would you choose? You know what I'm saying? Would you choose Chris Brown over Trey Songz? You know which way it's going. It's only going one way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's Chris Brown all day, every day, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because why? The way you talk about the relatability, right?
Yeah.
The girls can relate to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When he sings, it's almost like they can feel him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like when they go to concert, it's another level.
Yeah.
They're all front rows, female, all front rows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's the same thing when you talk about, and you got to think about it too. Like, in the '96, early 2000, you know what I mean? R&B too was huge.
Yeah.
Was huge. There's a lot of competition. Then you had pop too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Different genres, right? There was a lot of competition for that number one spot. On, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Billboard.
Top 100.
Yeah,
Billboard.
because a lot of it gets blurred
Very
out.
competitive. You know what I'm saying? So,
but the answer, like, I would like to hear like what you have to think though. Like, what is it for you, like your generation, that kind of gravitates you guys to like the, you know, the Little Yachty's, you know, Ski Mask, like all those guys.
Like it's the same thing. Like I'm gonna be honest, because like I understand where you guys are coming from, because like you know, like lyricalism and stuff like that. Like you know, you have like the legends, though, DMX, MF Doom, you know, NWA, all that, right? Like they're talking about
even before that.
Yeah, they're talking about like freedom, you know, the community stuff about cost, all that, right?
Yeah.
And I understand where you guys are kind of saying, because like, oh, with this generation, it feels like there's not that much to relate to. But I'll be honest, there's a lot.
No,
like,
there are some. There's a one or two few guys.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't really say few, because like I don't know. I could relate. Like I'll be honest, I could relate to stuff that X talks about. I can relate to some stuff that
you
Juice
definitely
stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But in this generation, like, how do I explain it? Like, let me ask you a question, right? Let me ask both of you guys a question, right? When you guys talk about music and how, like, oh, I could relate to Tupac and stuff, what can you relate to with Tupac's story and all that?
I think that is in that time, that genre, right, of song. I think he talked about that thug life. When you talk about Tupac, talk about thug life. You know what I mean? So he was actually living a certain type of life that he was actually portraying, and he was singing. You know what I mean? And because when you don't when you don't listen to his music and you see his real life, this guy is always getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like he's either coming from a court, you know what I'm saying, coming from the studio, like, so he was like living that life. You know what I mean? And you know.
So what you're trying to say is like, you like when an artist is not like fake rap. Like what I mean by fake rap is like, oh, they're talking about, oh, they just got like, they just drop a body, this and that. They didn't actually do that.
Well, that's a big part of it, right?
That's one thing, you know. And the other thing too, it's like, you know, like how you capture people. You know what I'm saying? Like people, the energy, the music energy. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like when you even go before that, you go to like Michael Jackson. Yo, any concert that man went to, people pass out, fainting. It's like, yo,
that's
what kind
so
of energy
funny.
is
That was
this,
so
bro?
funny, yeah.
Like, well, what are they putting spell on people? Like,
it'll be so funny.
You know what
too.
I'm saying? So when you talk about like able to gravitate and you know what I'm saying, and capture people, bro, it's almost like that man used to grab people's energy and soul and just pull it in.
It's like he's a Grim Reaper.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's like, bro, I seen
a
video on TikTok one time, right? Where it was Michael at a concert, and he's just standing, like he's ready to stand there.
Oh,
like
yeah.
He's not even moving,
and
people are fainting. I'm like, he didn't even move yet.
Yo,
like,
I see that man look at you, bro,
and then they start fainting. I'm like,
it's like, bro,
I'm like, yo, what aura this guy has?
And then you look at that and you know it's not fake, bro. It's like real, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you though?
But see, that's the thing.
Like, bro, let's be honest, right? Let's just example, right? Like, let's say one of your favorite artists are on stage and you're standing there. You're telling me you're gonna faint?
No, I'm not fainting.
I'm saying, like, I feel like it's, I don't know. Like,
But
it could be real, but
that's when we talk about
fake.
the power of music, though. How powerful music can be, right? Remember, music can alternate or change your mood.
That's true. That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it goes deeper. So I'm saying like in this new genre of artists, you know, like people you like the music, but it doesn't have that type of power or control. It has a different type of control. You know what I'm saying? It has a different type of control where, as in, it you know, like I don't know how to explain it, bro.
It was like it's like, obviously it's up to like the individual themselves and like kind of like your taste at the end of the day, but like you're gonna find artists that you kind of connect with, in your own kind of lane in that sense. And like, yeah, obviously I'm not gonna like for myself, like I'm not gonna be like Kendrick in a sense where he like grew up in like Compton and like very dangerous. But I didn't live that, right?
Yeah.
But I think, and a lot of people say like myself, like a J. Cole, it's like he grew up in a bad neighborhood, but his parents moved him to his mom, like they moved to the next neighborhood, and he felt that disconnection from that. And he went to college and shit, right? That's something that's why Kanye got so big too as well, right? Because he's like not talking about him shooting people and killing people. He's just himself. He's like, I went to college, and like he's not rapping that kind of stuff. So for a lot of people relate in that way. But I think that's what the divide it creates, right? Because I think each generation has its own problem. And then so like our generation not necessarily is going to connect with your generation of version of music because that problem doesn't exist with us.
And you gotta also understand too, right? You gotta understand when artists are at their peak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you know when they're on the back door out of the industry, right?
Yeah.
And new artists come in. You know what I'm saying? They're bringing that young energy,
Yeah.
a different type of energy, right? So you gotta look at that too as you know what I mean, different gen.
Yeah.
The music changed too, right?
Yeah.
Like before, you know, it was like all about life and everything, but the new generation came and it went to a different direction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that has a big part to play in that. You know what I mean? And
No, that's true. Cause like we said, like each generation or decade, you know, there's always something different happening, right?
yeah,
But then I don't know, like it is hard to explain. Cause like
it is. Man.
for me, like I can't really explain to y'all that much about like my generation of music. Like there is a lot of people that like make really like lyrical music that in my generation, like for example, like Tyler the Creator, he does pretty good lyrical stuff.
Yeah.
What else? EM Triplin. You also have like, yeah, you have Ian Triplin. You have Tyler the Creator. You know, Kendrick, Drake, people like that, right?
Yeah.
But then there's some people too that are coming in the rise, whereas like they're kind of changing and making their own genre. Like, for example, there's a new, I want to call him underground. He's kind of mainstream now. He's been popping off like Osama's son, Netspin, right? They all kind of made their own genre, right? But then one thing too about my generation is like just something like same thing like Jovan said, right? It mostly depends on the individual that's listening to the music, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, you might like some chill, slow, boom bap kind of rap.
Facts, yeah.
Jovan might like, you know, jazz, kind of like upbeat, right?
Yeah.
And me, like I like anything, right? But I'm mostly onto like that kind of like I want to feel lit, like I want to feel rage, like I want to dance, I wanna, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it depends on the individual, because like for me, like I listen to anyone. Like some days, like I can go from like Tyler the Creator and Nav to next day I'll go The Weeknd and Drake, or sometimes I go old school like DMX, or one day, you know, I'll play like Travis Scott or play Ricardi, right?
Yeah.
Like it depends on like your mood, but also depends too, because like with each generation, each kid, they all have like their different stories and stuff that they're going through, right? And a lot of these artists can kind of like adapt to that and adapt to what these kids kind of feel. Same thing with like X, right? Like his story was like, you know, he didn't really feel love. He felt empty. He felt like he didn't even fit in like the society, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of kids like that. You know, there's a lot of kids in this generation who feel like, oh, their voices are not heard, right?
Yeah.
And that's what kind of like few songs that X kind of talked about was like, all right, let me speak for the people that feel broken. Let me talk for the people that feel numb.
Yeah.
And then with Juice WRLD, he kind of did the same thing. Let me talk to the people that feel alone or might be feeling like they're in like kind of like a addiction to drugs or addiction to like some type of abuse, right? So it just
but that's a good point though, because that's for them why they were able to go more mainstream, I think, than the rest, because then like other generations can still relate to that. You know what I mean?
Right?
So even like millennials like myself,
that's the bad thing, y'all can still relate to that, right?
Yeah,
That's talent. That's talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
When
talent.
you can when you can like bring a certain type of energy in your music,
Exactly.
you know what I mean, to a certain a demographic of people.
Yeah.
Yo, like, you know what I mean? Then that's talent, because you're no longer one dimensional. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's one
Like,
thing
you
that
have different ways of going. You can go this way. You can go that way. You know what I'm saying? You can go hard. You can go a little soft. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And that's the
you become more talented, and then therefore, you know what I'm saying? Like, you become and that's longevity too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you got to think about it. You know, like you say the millennial generation, and then you have after that, then you have Gen Z, right? So the new artists, the old artists was appealing to the millennials, and then the young and new young artists is coming up. You're appealing to the Gen Z.
Yeah.
They're not so much appealing to, because you're looking towards the future, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Gen Z is gonna be the next 20 years, 25, 30 years. So you're appealing to that, and then after come the alpha gen, right?
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a new wave of young artists coming up, ready for the next 30 years. You know what I'm saying?
But see, who's good at that though? Is like you have like someone like Drake though, right?
Yeah.
Because you look at Drake, right?
Yeah.
He's 40, but he still makes music like he's in the club now, like he's like a Gen Z. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's always gonna appeal to like older generations, and it's like I get it. Like I don't like it. Like I like his old stuff a lot more, obviously.
Yeah.
But I get it for him, because I think for him, it depends what your goal is as an artist, right? I think for him is like, I want to be the greatest, and the greatest to him could mean most records sold, #1 on Spotify, that sort of thing. He doesn't care about Grammys anymore. That's clear, right?
Yeah.
Maybe versus like someone like Kendrick. Kendrick's like, I don't need to sell the most, but I'm going to be the most like talked about. Everyone's going to put me up there as like the #1, the most Grammys, like that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think then you see with Kendrick, where it's like for Kendrick, he's like, that's why I'm not gonna just make music that's gonna appeal to Gen Z. I'm gonna speak my experience and other people, and then for Drake is like I'm gonna sell numbers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make music that this generation can listen to.
And that's the thing too, though, because like, one thing too, if like you're gonna be like an artist or like something like musician, whatever, right? You can touch every generation, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not every generation, right? But the things too, each day the generation is evolving, it's changing, right?
Yeah.
That's why like a lot of these artists is like, all right, like for example, like perfect example, like Drake, right? He's making music now that's kind of like clubbing stuff, right? Because that's what people in this generation kind of like. They want like that like hype stuff.
Yeah.
And for you to kind of like still have your name kind of talked about and like still kind of like going up, you kind of have to adapt to a new wave.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing too, like that's why I kind of like Cardi in a way, right? Because like
that's what I want to talk to you about. I want to get into this one, bro.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean. I want to get into.
That's why I like Cardi a lot. Because like from me, like I grew up like I'm a 2000 baby, right? So like 2003, all that, right?
Yeah.
And from middle school, that's like SoundCloud era. Like, I grew up in SoundCloud era. Like you had little Uzi, little Yachty, you had Kyle, you had Playboy Cardi, all those people, right?
Yeah.
And like in a way, like don't get me wrong, like I grew up with like the music like y'all kind of grew up on, right?
Yeah.
Like I started listening to that because my mom used to play that a lot for me. But then the SoundCloud era, that's where like okay, like whoa, music now is so different. Like what is the new style? Like Uzi now, this guy's making some kind of like hype kind of music with like a different melody, different stuff. And like the thing is too with me, like when I listen to music, I like to break every single thing down. Like I like to break down the instrumentals. I like to listen to the 808s, the bass, the lead, the layers, vocal, reverb. I like to break everything down, right? And that's what I like about new gen kind of music, because
so let me ask you a question, not to cut you off. So tell us you know what I mean? So highlight now, give us a little bio based on Cardi, like from where he was when he started.
Cardi?
To where he is right now. You know what I mean? Like break it down for me, man.
I'll break it down for you.
Yeah. Tell me what's going on.
All right, so Cardi, known as Jordan Carter, 29-year-old from Atlanta. I'm not gonna lie, he been involved. Yeah. He blew up in April 2017.
Yeah.
From his debut mixtape.
Yeah.
And like I'm not gonna lie, he's been doing his thing. He's been changing the wave, because one thing too, what a lot of like rap now is like, you rap about poetry, you rap about and genre stuff, right?
Yeah.
He kind of changed that, because like he started making like his voice kind of like high pitched, like kind of like a baby, right?
Right.
And everyone's like, all right, bro, like, what is this baby? So, like, you making yourself look a fool. Like, it's
Yeah.
kind of like sounding like mumbling rapping, right?
Right.
But then, when it's something different and something you don't usually see, you kind of tap into that to see what's happening, right? And, like, he's been doing it, and, like, he's been getting a bit of motion, right? And then people kind of see the potential where then that's where A$AP Rocky was like, okay, you know what? Let me put him onto A$AP Mob, right? And then A$AP Rocky, A$AP Ferg, A$AP Mob, all of them, they start working with Cardi, and they're like, you know what? He got potential, right? He starts blowing up, he starts doing good, drops Die Lit. Die Lit blows off, like skyrockets. Like, bro, his best songs on that Location, R.I.P., Foreign, like, it starts blowing off and going mainstream, right? And then that's where the whole like Cash Cardi thing goes on, right? And then, you know, when somebody starts having like a different kind of flow, kind of like different genre, it's gonna motivate everyone. It's gonna inspire everyone, right?
Yeah.
Which that's why I feel like nowadays that's why like a lot of these artists kind of sound the same.
So you think his baby voice or that thing that he created, that voice, you think that like influenced a lot of
For
these
sure.
current-
For sure.
So you're saying he's like
For sure. I'm sorry,
okay.
like, if I really think about it, if you really try to figure out, like, okay, who started this whole baby voice? Who started this kind of, like, genre-ish? It low-key kind of pinpoints to Cardi. Because really,
Right.
like, no one really done something like this whole baby voice other than Cardi, right? And then, you know, it sounds cool for, like, this new generation. We're like, okay, you know what, let me try that. And now a lot of these artists are kind of, like, picking, like, it's like, for example, it's like, this example, I have a homework, and I give you the copy to it, right? But you're gonna change it up a bit into your own way, but it still sounds like me,
Right.
That's what a lot of these new generations are kind of doing. But that's what it's like,
Kind of took the style.
exactly, right?
Yeah.
Because like, I'm not gonna lie, like Osama Son and Nesben, they all kind of sound the same. Like a lot of these underground rappers now, like back then underground, they all had their different style. They all have their different full, like Cash Domi, Baby Satana, all of them, right? But then now it's like with this generation, they mostly want that rage, right? And then going back to Cardi now, right? You had Cash Cardi, you know, that was like SoundCloud era, and then he like, well, I think like around like 2020, like kind of like COVID time,
Yeah.
out the blue December, he drops Whole Lot of Red, right? And at first, Whole Lot of Red didn't do that good because, you know, everyone's used to the whole baby voice Cardi, right?
Yeah.
But then he starts going to like this kind of like rock and roll emo kind of like vampire thing. Like
Yeah.
it's like rock music, like mosh pit, right?
See, that's a tough thing because when you're an artist and you have a very successful first
That's
album,
what I'm saying. And everyone's like loyal to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's hard for you to you
Yeah.
to adapt to the new.
and as an artist, yeah,
style.
you want to do something new. You want to try
That's what I'm saying.
something
You
else,
want to
right?
adapt and you want to change the flow for everyone, right?
But everyone's like, "Yo, like, what is this?" Like,
That's what I'm
this is
saying.
not
Because I'll be
first
honest,
thing.
like the first time when I listened to, because the thing is too, there's two versions of Whole Lot of Red. Like the first version of Whole Lot of Red, it was Cash Cardi, which I was like the baby voice Cash Cardi, like Cardi, right? But then with you also becoming like a known artist, your songs gonna get leaked. So pretty much the whole album got leaked. So then he's like, honestly, scratch that, and then he changed it to like this whole like rock star kind of thing. And like the first time I listened to it, I'm like, what is this? Like, this is garbage. Like, I'm not listening to this. And like, I'm like, no, let me give it a try. And like, the more I listened to it, it grew on me a bit. Cause I'm like, it's something different. It's not something I usually hear.
Right.
And it's like, I don't really hear this from different artists like that, right?
Yeah.
I don't really hear that. And then the stuff he's kind of talking about is like, okay, cool, right? Then it starts going crazy. Then first week it does 100,000 outsales. It sells crazy.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he starts doing features with Kanye. You know, he's on Donda, which Cardi, he never got a Grammy, right? But he did get a Grammy for being on Donda. And then, you know, he starts doing other features with Travis Scott. You know, Travis Scott drops Utopia. He gets a collab with Travis on Carnival.
Yeah.
That goes mainstream. He gets a Grammy for that, right? And he's like, okay, you know what? Everyone now, this generation, they just want to rock. They want to mosh pit, you know? And I feel that too, because like usually when you go to a concert, right, you don't want to sit down there and just, yay, you know, like Taylor
Yeah, you
Swift
wanna
kind of
get
vibe.
involved.
You
It's
know,
like,
you
what's the
wanna-
difference
it's
than
like
me
you
just
wanna
listening
get
at
in-
home?
It's like you want to get
Wanna
involved.
be
man.
active, yeah.
That's the thing what I like with a lot of these artists now, like Travis Scott, for example, like Joe Vaughn just said, right? He engages with his community and like he gets the community like bumping, right? So like when you're at Rolling Loud, like you want to jump, like you're oh my gosh, like
Yeah,
you feel that,
yeah.
you know, like you feel that it's kind of like an adrenaline rush, right?
Yeah.
You're like oh my gosh, like I feel like I'm on the stage with him, like I feel like I'm a rock star, right? And then that's what I feel like that's like the kind of like position that music's kind of going towards, right? Where it's like, all right, I want people to also relate to what I'm saying, but I also want people to just have fun, you know, like just breach off that whole negative vibe and just vibing, right? And that's why I also feel like with Cardi now, when he dropped I Am Music, it went mainstream. Like it literally sold 2,000 and something in like 13 minutes. First day, like it went crazy, right?
Yeah.
And literally, it's like the most talked about album because he kept delaying it. It's been 5 years since he dropped. Like since 5 years, he dropped Whole Lotta Red. It's been 5 years. He keeps teasing. He keeps going off internet. Like he kind of has like this mysterious look on him. Like he just acts weird, right? And then
do you think it was like ready, like not like a year ago, and he just kind of been like kind of hyping it up a bit?
Yeah, because that's what every artist does, right?
Bro, that's the thing I hate.
And
like,
that's why I hate.
Not to cut you off, but like, there's some artists I see on TikTok and stuff, and they'll do like a little sneak thing of like a song they're working on, an unreleased song, whatever, and you're like, this is like one of the greatest things. Like it's like this is amazing.
Yeah.
And everyone in the comments like, yo, like drop this now, drop it now.
Yeah.
And they don't drop it.
And they don't drop it. And then it's like a month later, and they're still making the same damn video,
Perfect example.
teasing. And I'm like,
perfect person to even explain this.
yeah,
I'm tripping.
yeah,
I'm tripping. I if you could bring up right now, bring up like literally I'm tripping. He had a song called I think it's called Miss Me.
yeah.
And literally like he posted first TikTok with the preview of the song, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Yo, drop this! Like this is tough. This
Yeah.
is sick."
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Yo, I want this." Few weeks pass, drops a next snippet to the song. Next snippet, he keeps boosting to the point where it's like, don't get me wrong, like you could promote your song and you can make it hype, but don't OD it to the point where it's like, all right, it's been a month now, you haven't even dropped the song now.
Yeah.
Now it's like the hype is dying out, and that's what happened with Cardi. Like he would keep teasing I Am Music. He's like, yo, I'm gonna drop I Am Music, blah blah blah. Yo, I Am Music merch. Oh, he drops singles. He drops a single Timeless with The Weeknd. Then he does some songs with Travis Scott and Kanye. And everyone's like, okay, cool. That's cool and all, but where's your album? Oh, it's dropping soon. Okay, cool. Few months pass. We hear nothing, right? To the point where it's like, okay, now the hype is dead.
Yeah.
Like you're not dropping no music. You're not dropping anything. I'll be honest. Me as a Cardi listener, I lost hype. I'm like we're not getting this album. I lost faith. And then he dropped it, which I'm not gonna lie, he dropped it out the blue, which then that brought back the hype, right? But then what also made it different and kind of like strange was the features, because the thing with Cardi now, like he's kind of like that, like I said, right? He's on like that rock star kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
You think somebody that's making like mosh pit kind of music wouldn't do a collab with someone that's chill like Kendrick?
Yeah.
Why was Kendrick on the album?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, fact.
It was mad strange to me. I'm like, 'cause I was listening, I'm like, it's like Kendrick. Like, why is Kendrick on the album? Especially too when like, bro was just making music about like Not Like Us and stuff like that. And then I open up Genius, right? Genius is like a app where you can look at the lyrics. He's dissing Drake again. I'm just there like, okay.
Oh my
I'm
God,
like, okay, cool. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You got your Grammys for Not Like Us.
Yeah.
You've been dissing Drake. Drake dropped it. He's like, all right, I'm trying to squash the beef. You know, he did drop like a little bit of hints on what's the album called with Party Next Door, Sexy something.
Oh, Sexy Song for You. Or whatever.
Yeah. You know, he dropped like a big hit with Kendrick, and then he did his own thing. But then you're gonna come on with Cardi now, and still kind of like, you know, like I feel like you're dragging it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're just milking the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which, like it is bringing you numbers
Yeah.
and it's bringing you clicks, but it's like you're just dragging it at this point.
But see, that's why everyone like says like, we're like, yo, Kendrick, like, you only gotten this right now because it's because you're talking about Drake.
That's
Like,
what I'm
Drake is
saying.
making you money. You know what I mean? Like,
It kind of does feel like that.
and
but
it
like,
feels like that at a point like you're still talking about him, like, because then Drake dropped his diss and like what was it, the Heart Part 6?
yeah,
And then like, you know, like he didn't say anything else afterwards. He would talk about the beef,
Yeah.
but not necessarily dissing Kendrick like flat out. And then Kendrick's still talking to this
going.
man. I'm like,
So
yo.
he does at the Super Bowl, and then he does it with Cardi. Not even just one song. This guy had like 3 songs with Cardi.
Yeah.
And he's still talking about Drake.
That's what I thought after the Super Bowl, like, okay, like it's done now.
Yeah,
Like, he did the thing in the
like-
Super Bowl, it's over.
Yeah, and
And
he's
he's
a Cardi.
still talking
I was
about
like,
it.
crazy
Oh my
to
God,
me.
bro.
And then I don't know, it was just weird, but like the whole project with the Cardi thing, it was different.
So
it was
yeah, with Cardi, right? Do you think like the fact that he was able to change his character like 3 times, do you think that hurt him or that kind of made him that much better? Because you talk about when he first his first character, like he promoted the baby voice, that wave, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then he had when he promoted it was a success. Then the second character was more like a rock type of, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then he sent that out, trying to create a new wave to that demographic. Do you think that really was a smart, strategic move for him to not only like in longevity, but like to
just
keep
like in
his fan
general.
base and
Yeah.
keep the wave going, like and do different trend
I'll be honest.
every once in a while.
I'll be honest. Yes.
Or it wasn't
no.
working out.
Yes and no. The reason why I say yes and no, because mind you, you're gonna have like day one fans, right?
Yeah.
Which they grew up with Cash Cardi. Like I'm day one. Like I remember listening to this guy going to middle school, listening to Die Lit and his debut album, listening to like the baby version.
Yeah.
And then when he transferred like to the whole Rockstar, Whole Lotta Red, I'm like, what is this, right? And it took a lot to get used to, but then and it took a lot of people to get used to because literally like it literally went trending to the point where like, yo, no one liked the album. And then it started growing on people to the point where it's like, okay, this is the path Cardi wants to go to with the whole Rockstar thing. And then he drops I Am Music, which like we're like, all right, we already know what it's gonna sound like because now he's on this whole Rockstar thing. But then he changes up with a bit with like this deep voice, which we're like, okay, we have baby voice, then we have rock Cardi, and then we have deep voice.
Yeah.
And it's like each one is a different character, which like in a way is kind of smart because it gives like the different album its own kind of story, which that's what I also like about Tyler. Like for example, like
Tyler's
albums,
phenomenal.
he always
His
have a
visuals are
different.
phenomenal.
I'm saying he always
Yeah.
have a different thing. Like for example, Igor.
Yeah.
He had a different character. Then you have Chromocopia,
Yeah.
Cherry Bomb.
Yeah.
Always a different character that's like also like it mashes into like its own universe.
And he keeps it, like, and he performs in that, like, in, like, Cornucopia, like, when he performs, he's wearing the green
That's
suit,
like he's
the
wearing
mask,
he's in
yeah.
that character. And that's one thing I like, and that's what I feel like that Cardi's doing. He's like, all right, this is what people want. This is what like to see me. So I'm gonna keep that same energy. I'm gonna keep that same look.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, it hit numbers like what? It's the fact Rolling Loud, right? They literally gave him his own stage for his own performance, right?
Yeah.
And this guy did like 50 songs. He had like the longest performance, and there's like 1 million people there watching him.
Yeah.
He went crazy. Like
So
everyone.
you're saying it was if it's not that it was whether if it's directly or indirectly, it was a huge success.
It was. It's like it was a leap of faith for him. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like think about it, right?
Yeah.
Like each person, you kind of have to adapt, and also like you can adapt to the genres that are happening now, but in a way too to make you really stand out, you
Right,
gotta
right.
start your own swag,
Right.
right?
Facts.
Yeah.
You gotta start your own swag. So he started his own thing. He's like, it might not work, but let me try it out.
Yeah.
It didn't work at first, but he's like, know what? I feel like it has potential. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Right.
And then boom, whole lot, I Am Music came out, and then it was a success. So in a way, like it's a leap of faith, but it worked out. And like a lot of artists do that too. Like for example, Kanye.
Yeah.
You had Graduation, College Dropout. Then he changed it up to kind of like gospel with what was the album called? Jesus something?
Jesus.
Jesus or something like that, right?
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah.
He does that, and then he comes back with something different, and then he kind of goes back to that gospel with Donda.
Yeah.
And then he goes back kind of to his old self, but not really with Vultures 1 and 2 with Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah.
And then now we don't really know what path he really wants to go towards.
And the fact while he was these different characters, you know what I mean, the controversial,
like this theory behind it.
breakdown and rant that he
Yeah.
went through, all these things too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, was like brought more spotlight
It did.
and was able to make him continue. You know what I'm saying, like in terms of like longevity. Like look how long this guy's been around.
And he's still going.
He's been around since graduation until now.
and
You
he's
know what I'm
still
saying?
going.
But I think like for a lot of people though, it's like for Kanye, like you have that hope of like he'll make another like graduation album again.
No, for sure.
Or my
definitely want
Bark,
that.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's the thing with Kanye too. Like I love like his first 3 albums and like oh my
Oh
god,
my gosh, bro! Graduation,
Yeah.
college dropout, St. Paulo.
yeah, one of the
Peak.
greatest like runs
Peak.
of like music. But the problem with him though is like it's like you almost like you see like a mental deterioration of him.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even now, like listen to some songs, I'm like, yo, what are these lyrics?
That's what I'm saying.
Like I never viewed Kanye as like some crazy lyricist, but like I'm like some of the shit he says is so stupid. I'm like, bro, what is this?
But you know what it is, and it's like the graduation album, right?
Yeah.
A lot of it he was actually going through, like you know what I mean, when he had to
Through the wire?
and all
Yeah.
that, like he actually lived
Actually
that.
rapping.
Yeah.
So when he was like putting it out there, you know what I'm saying? It's like he brought him back to memory lane where he's like actually going through the experience.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like so people kind of like gravitate because he became a magnet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But as you know, his different albums in his latter years now, it kind of like detachment. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Especially
it feels
But
like
that's through his experience. Maybe he lost, you know, his personal loss, and you know,
Yeah, so
I
it's
mean, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. But then like
caused
at the
different-
same time too, like behind the whole music thing now with Kanye in general now, it's like it's really hard to see like what path he wants to go for his new album now. Because now he has the album called Bully that's gonna drop.
yeah.
On top of that too, he has his daughter North making a album too. But then, like the whole thing that's going with Kanye now is like I don't know what to really like think that what's gonna happen for this new album now. Cause I'm like, yo, what is happening? What is this guy talking about?
Yeah.
Bro's just yapping.
Even him like dropping Vultures is the most annoying thing ever.
That's what I'm saying.
Because like every time he says like it's dropping today, it doesn't
It
drop.
doesn't drop. And it's
And
really-
it gets pulled, and he's like puts it out again. Same thing with Donda too. Like it was like remember you like rented out like the room in like the
Yup.
stadium, and he just like, lost himself out there to make it.
Yeah.
I'm
and
like,
he
bro,
does
where's
drop
his
it.
album?
And he does drop it. I think he did drop, but like it's so stupid though, because he dropped it on like that stupid little like player thing he made. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
no,
that
Oh,
you
yeah,
mentioned. That was.
I'm like,
yeah.
it is smart marketing. But like,
Yo,
he
but he
just-
sold a lot though.
He did.
You know what I mean?
'cause
That
he
was a
did-
good marketing.
It is because like
Yeah.
you know there's diehard Kanye fans,
Yeah.
but it's like realistically, who's buying a player just to listen to one album?
Yeah,
I'm not
and he's also
doing
like
that.
competing with like Drake too.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
Because he's during the CBR album too.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. I'm like,
But
I'm not
you
doing that.
can't knock his marketing skills though. Like his marketing skills
No, it is. It's
are
good.
next to none. man.
Yeah.
Like this guy, it doesn't matter if like he's negative or positive, bro. Like it always goes back to him making sales, bro.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Like
does
talk
that-
about that stupid device. You know what I mean? People on that wave. You know what I mean? When it came out, people on that wave and actually went and bought it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
later on, they found out like problems here and there. But you know what I'm saying? Like
that's the thing. Yeah, that's the problem too. Like,
even
and like,
what the Grammys, what he did with his wife. You know what I'm
wife,
saying?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
these are all like leading up to him maybe dropping the music or doing something because
No,
now you
but
caught your
that's what it
attention.
is.
but
And I
but
feel
but,
like-
the thing is though, is like he's so it's getting to the point though. Like he is the juice marketing, but like I feel like now more it's not so much more strategic, and just like it's just like it seems desperate because it's just like so gimmicky at this point.
Oh my no! Speaking of that,
Yeah.
no, I agree with that because like he's honestly just a crybaby right now, especially too with like going back to Cardi. Like some songs Kanye actually because Kanye produces right. There's some songs he produced for Cardi right, and he was supposed to be on the album, but you know the whole thing that's happening with Kanye now. Cardi's like I don't want that type of energy on my thing,
Yeah, I
so he
remember
cut him
him saying
off
that.
right.
Yeah,
And then now this guy's posting on Twitter now about, yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro, this guy's mad weird. How you gonna cut me off the album, this and this, and not gonna have me on stage, right? And then Kari also tweeted something about, North, send me, he texted Kim Kardashian. He's like, yo, I need my niece vocals. I want her on my songs, right? Especially too, I want to hop on her songs too because she's dropping her album, right? And then I don't remember what Kim said. I think Kim said, "Okay, I got you," something like that, right? And then Kanye's like, "Nah, Cardi's mad weird. How you gonna go and text my ex and then you're gonna try and get into the issue with my daughter and stuff, right?" And then now this guy want to be petty now. He goes text his Iggy Azalea. Cardi's a baby mama, and he's like, "Oh, I need my nephew's vocals and this and this and that." And I'm like,
This
"Come
guy's
on,
so- this
bro." I'm
guy's
like,
so weird,
that's what I'm saying.
bro.
He's doing too much. And then Iggy Azalea's like, "Oh, I'm not doing that. You know, as a mother, I don't need my son being involved with all your gimmick stuff, especially too his baby daddy's not really in his life like that, right? Because I'm be honest, like Cardi, bro, he's not really in his son's life. I don't know why.
Deadbeat dad.
I don't know why. People say he is. Me personally, it don't look like that. But
but like that's the thing, right? Like that's the thing. You have artists like that are so gimmicky, and also they don't have like a clear direction, like where they want to go. And sometimes too, and then it's kind of flip flop. Like I think of like Logic sometimes too, right? I listen when I listen to Logic, I listen on SoundCloud, like his Welcome to Forever mixtape.
No, Logic back then was P. Logic and NF.
Yeah, Logic, that Welcome to Forever mixtape, monstrous. That was
crazy.
A phenomenal album. Now he does post some of it on like Apple Music, Spotify, because a lot of it's like he sampled and using beats from other songs, but so good.
Yes.
And then like what was his next album, Metropolis or something like that. And then he dropped like a few other albums, and after some point he started getting a little gimmicky with him, because like he started this whole like space theme. All right, cool, it's kind of cool, whatever. He got what's his name, John Witherspoon, plays Granddad on Boondocks.
Oh yeah.
He had to like do some like interlude stuff on like his album stuff. It was cool, but after a while, he started doing this whole like activist thing, and like it just didn't like go well with people. And really like did the suicide hotline number stuff.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
And it just felt so gimmicky. And like at a certain point for me as a fan, I actually don't listen to it anymore, because like even some of his lyrics, this guy would just constantly repeat like, I'm half black, half white.
Yeah, you say some weird stuff.
Every time he's like, half black. I'm like, why do you have to mention that every single time, bro? Like,
I feel like he low-key fell off when he started making like songs with Jordan Lucas. Because when Jordan Lucas was doing, they were amazing.
That's when they did the ADHD song.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened to bro. He just fell off.
And it was interesting because even they had their own beef too, right? Because he said like Logic stole
some songs from him.
That's
like,
the same. That same Suicide Hotline song.
Because
apparently, that was Junior. Junior apparently was mixing a song like that, and then Logic's manager came into the booth while Jordan was recording that, and then they see that Logic came out with that song, and then so Jordan released his song version of that, but he couldn't use the number because that was the idea they had, right? So that was the whole thing behind that.
I didn't know that.
But so that's why you have a lot of people now saying like, Logic's very corny. Yeah. He's extremely talented. Like he can rap.
He can rap.
He can rap like crazy. Even like I remember his XL cover. Like I think it was in the 2012 one. Crazy. Like everyone like killed that shit, right? But like now it just makes corny music, and like sometimes like you placate a little bit too much to the fans because you just see something that works and you just stick with that. And it's like you change it up, man. Do something a little different, right? Yeah. So have your roots a little bit, but like follow through on that because you didn't get too gimmicky at that point.
But that's what like a lot of artists in now. Cause I'm not gonna lie, like. Kid Cudi, bro. This guy Kid Cudi's doing the exact same thing. I'm like, what are you dropping now? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you did have good hits, like Day and Night. You had Mr. Ranger, Ghost, beautiful songs. But then I was like, he just feels lazy. It's just lazy music.
That's even like something I kind of feel like Bryson right now too.
Bryson Taylor?
Yeah, because even like his like last album had a lot of good songs on there, but then like some of them too were like. What was that one? It wasn't even like it felt like a country song. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, what's it called? I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. It felt kind of country sound.
Something changed the position. Felt like a very like pop song, like Jason Derulo would make that kind of song. I'm like, bro, like you had like that trap R&B sound, and you're making like pop sound like that. And
but then that's what Drake kind of did with that with the new album too. Though, remember that one song? This guy made a song that sounded like some white girl, Katy Perry kind of music.
Oh, was it? You talking about Nakia?
I think that's what it's like. I am so excited.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and it has the guitars and everything.
Yeah, it's also like white girls. Like, what is this?
Or you also do like he did like the Spanish one, like Meet Your Project.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That one, I kind of like this.
Bro,
it grew on me. It grew on me. I'll be honest.
I'm so sick of this man.
It grew on me.
Like the whole thing of this, every moment. That's why people say it's such a culture vulture. Like. Bro, you're not Spanish or Latino, and you're making shit songs like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because did he not make like one song too? Like he was speaking like Arabic or something too.
Yes, like bro,
he does
that's what I'm
that
saying.
all the
like,
time. He's weird.
He just does that so he hops in all the culture, like like drop people, like everyone listens to him. It's so annoying, bro. Like who is the real you at this point? Because the only thing I listen to, I'm like the 2010 stuff, like that stuff. I'm like that's Drake for real, right? Yeah. Even like his Views album, like that's Drake. But like this stuff, I'm like. Bro, you're just hopping. Same thing, like the UK stuff when he goes like does like drill rap. I'm like, crazy, man. Bro, like you just you have no like legit sound to yourself.
But then again, that's the thing, right? When you're like an artist, or you're like an old artist, you're trying to adapt to the new wave. That's why he's out here making drill music and all that. Because back then, well, I think like that was like around like 2019, whatever. Drill was like big.
Yeah.
Right?
So do you think it's like lack of talent,
Lack of-
or like it's just like trying to catch on to the new wave before
I think
another wave
both.
comes?
I think it's lack of
Both.
creativity.
Yeah,
It's
you know what I
both.
mean.
Lack of creativity,
right,
yeah.
right.
both.
Cause like he has a talent, like he can rap. I'm like, bro, just keep rapping.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't even care if you even write. If someone's writing your own lyrics, I don't care. Know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Because there's a point too where like, some artists, I'm like, how your cadence and your flow
Yeah.
and your voice is good.
But the lyrics are trash.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah.
No, that's so facts.
So
That's
it's like
facts.
because sometimes you even see some of these like AI songs. I heard like some like an AI song with Kendrick, and I'm like, this song sounds so good because of the lyrics. Not saying Kendrick has shit lyrics, but just like his voice, cadence, flow. With plus these lyrics, you're like, oh, this is
so
sick.
good, but
Yeah,
it's not real.
So I'm like, Drake, I don't care if you write. Like, if someone's writing your shit for you, have someone write shit for you and just rap, bro. Same with Kanye. Like Kanye, like, your production is insane. Like, even though Kanye's, like, lyrics are garbage, his productions are phenomenal.
No, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
So it's like, just have someone write it for you.
Yeah.
Just rap it with your productions, and you're good.
Yeah.
Like, you clearly just want to make money and have a legacy.
That's what a lot of these artists are now. That's the thing. Like that's the thing with this new gen. Like, yeah, I'm the new gen, and like I do listen to like the new generation music,
Yeah.
but I still can't get into it. Like, a lot of it is like it's not even just lyrics anymore. Like the lyrics don't make no sense. Some of it just feels like copy and paste from some different person,
Yeah.
and then on top of it is just the beat. Like, it's literally the beat. Like, it's like the beat is louder than them.
Yeah.
Like, all I'm hearing is the beat, and I hear a bit of them, and it just sounds like mumbling. Like, it's like, I'm like, okay, we get it. Okay, like, the beat is carrying you, but, like, show you actually have that talent.
Yeah. And they get offended when you're like,
And they
oh,
get
you can't
offended. That's
rap.
what I'm saying. They're like, oh, I can't rap, or this is the new wave. Like, I understand it's a new wave, but it's like, you can have, like, me personally, as, like, someone that likes music a lot, is like, I like music where it's like, okay, you can have some songs where, like, you're spitting some hot flame, like you're going crazy, and then you can change up to like some songs where like, okay, it's just the beat kind of carrying, you're kind of like laid back, or like you change the song a bit. But it's like, if all your songs are just like, you just seem so laid back, you're so lazy, it's like,
That's why I just
what's
felt
the
this Drake in the
point?
party album, because I'm like, yo, like, give me a hug. I'm like, oh, he's going.
he was going
off.
crazy, and then
He's
next
going.
song he's just like, he's just chilling.
And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, listen. I'm like, please tell me. I'm like, I've heard it. Give me a hug. I'm like, tell me you have more gems like that. Nothing. I'm like,
Nothing.
bro. I'm like, why am I even like,
I don't know, bro.
why am I giving him a chance? Because some artists you're like, let's see. I'm like, yo, like I'm not skipping any of these songs. Like that's why I felt like Bryce Tiller, like Trap Soul. I had no skips on that album.
No skips, no.
No skips on that album. I'm like,
That's
this is
beautiful.
like a textbook example of like how you do R&B, but in a new creative way,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it just works. This is a new style. Like that's a new thing that he started, right?
yeah.
But then like, yeah, Drake's like last few albums,
It's terrible.
Kanye's like same thing. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I can't find any joy in this. I'm waiting for J. Cole to drop his
Yeah.
fall album, but also he's singing Forever on that too.
I mean, it makes sense because you said it's like his final album.
Yeah, but that's the point. I'm like, yo, like just drop the album. Like some of these artists nowadays are just like, I'm like, yo, you're just influencers. You're just social media influencers. Like, stop teasing your song and drop the music. Make music.
But then again, too, though, like I hate it. I hate when they like delay their album stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, I kind of like it because at the same time, I'd rather have album that you could clearly see like it took a lot of time and it's perfectionist than a
Yeah,
rushed
but no, don't get me wrong. I'm
album.
not saying like don't rush the album, but like they're sitting on the music and then they're like teasing the song for like 2-3 months.
And then you go to their Instagram story and they're just chilling like on some like random place.
That's what I'm saying. Like drop the
Yeah.
music. Like a great example of that. Like I remember everyone was talking about that Kid Laroi song, and it sounded very like early 2000s, right? And everyone was going nuts for it. Everyone was like, "Yo, drop it!" Like everyone was leaking it. It's on YouTube everywhere. And then he started. It was leaked, and then he started posting it, like him dancing to it, and like grooving to it, stuff like that. Like everyone's like, "Yo, when are you gonna drop it? When are you gonna drop it?" Another month goes by, still hasn't dropped it. Everyone's like, "Yo, when are you dropping this song?" And he's like, he's like posting videos like, who should I get to feature on this song? I was like, don't worry about. Everyone's like, yo, people are like coming. Don't even worry about a feature. Drop the damn song and then worry about that later. And then he's like, oh, my record label's like delaying a little bit. If you know your record label didn't give you like the A-OK to like drop it, don't post about it.
Don't post it. Yeah.
Don't post that. Tell them to kill that shit. Like, and then when you know the song's ready to go, or they're like, yo, 2 weeks from now it's gonna drop. Start posting and like hyping it up, because the funny thing what happened when he did eventually drop it,
no one.
Everyone. I remember everyone was commenting like, the hype is gone.
Yeah,
like the hype is dead for me. Like, it's just you heard it so many times and it's like, whatever.
Just saying, that's why I don't like about these artists nowadays. Like, I don't get it. Like, because even too, like, especially too with TikTok, it's like they literally just keep promoting the same little snippet. That same little snippet. It's like, if you're gonna promote that same little snippet, at least extend the snippet a bit more.
Give me more, yeah.
Just saying, like, at least snippet a bit more. That's it. But if you're gonna do the same thing,
I'm like, do you not like money? Do you not like money? Like, drop the song.
Everyone's telling you to drop it. Everyone's making edits to it, dance videos to it, all that. You're not gonna drop it.
Or even like the worst is like sometimes I've seen some like Isaiah Falls is a good example. R&B artist in like Toronto, right? He'll drop snippets for some songs, and you're like, this is a hit. And then he'll drop like another snippet for another song in his next video, and then another snippet for next song. And some people are like, what happened to the first song snippet you dropped? Are you not gonna make that? And he doesn't make the song.
That's crazy.
When are you gonna make that one?
You know what they do too, what Loki kind of makes me mad?
Yeah.
Is like, they'll drop a snip of that song.
Yeah.
And then when the song comes out, they change like everything about it. Like the instrumental be a bit different, or the lyrics be different. Yeah. And then it's like, this sounds weird. Or like, what they'll drop the snippet. Yeah. And then they'll just scratch the song. Yeah. You'll be like, I'm not dropping this song.
Or they take that snippet and they use it for another song, like the intro. Yeah. Like Kendrick, like Not Like Us. Like, remember the beginning of Not Like Us? Mm-hmm. And then like everyone's like, where's that song? Like, I want that song beat on there before it goes in like into the thing. And then he did drop it on like his newest album, like the full song. Oh really? That the beginning used for snippet. Yeah, but everyone's like, we want that. Like,
all right, guys, you already know. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the family function. I say that then, man. Until next time, you know. And before we go, any last thing about the topic today?
Just try to like, for all my old people and all that new people, try to just like, I kind of like adapt to the new music now. Try to like get into a bit. That's really it. Like, just try to give it a chance a bit. That's awesome.
And if you don't like it, criticize it.
That's right.
Bully them into not making your music or changing
That's true. No, I agree with that.
Sometimes bullying works.
I agree with that, because I'm not gonna lie. Lately, a lot of these artists, it's been the same music. Yeah. So please just bully them to just at least drop some good music, at least.
Yeah, bullying works, guys. Remember that.
Because I don't really have that much good songs to listen to anymore. I don't go back to the oldies.
Yeah. That's it, man. All right. Saying that, we out. You already know.
Peace.
All right.